Hi, back again, wanting to talk to you today about diet and lifestyle stuff that you can do to keep yourself healthy. In Chinese medicine, there's two things we always look at in a person's health, no matter what the illness is. So people might have a back pain, they might have a cold or a flu, they might have something that's we would call acute. That means it's just happened, or something that's really chronic. We still want to know how their body's functioning in terms of their digestion and their sleep. So those are two things where your body's producing the resource that it needs to keep itself functioning. Now this isn't just pertain to only Chinese medicine, it's just in general the medicine of your body. However, in Western medicine, I think like over the years, practitioners have kind of drifted away from these concepts. So you go to a GP and you've got a headache, and they're just kind of treating that headache, and the preventative concepts of medicine have kind of fallen towards like public health, the government, that kind of stuff. And that's good because it does keep us aware of healthy things. But on an individual level, how does that pertain to us individually? Like how can we keep ourselves healthy given your individual circumstances? Now, really only a Chinese medicine practitioner, after they've kind of given you a diagnosis, they've like checked your pulse and asked some questions and found out what the diagnosis for you is, really only then you can know, okay, these specific foods I should eat and these specific foods I should kind of stay away from. But there are some just general diet and lifestyle things you can do for yourself. So as part of this toolkit package today, I've got the video about Chinese diet therapy. Now that video just explains why you should eat mostly cooked foods, which is a general premise of Chinese medicine. If you can stick to that, your body will start to feel a lot healthier than if you have a primary raw food diet. It kind of helps you understand how your digestion works. So I encourage you to watch that video when you've got a bit of time, and that will kind of explain the digestion part of it to you. The other aspect is your sleep. So I've included a couple of posts here, blog posts, where you can read through this information as well if you prefer to just read it. But your sleep is vitally important. So in Chinese medicine, we think your sleep should be a sound sleep. So you lie down, you go to bed, obviously, and lie down and close your eyes, and then next thing you know, it's morning. That is a perfect sleep. Not waking up through the night, not waking up to go to the toilet, not waking up to hear noises, things like that. Not waking up because you're hot or cold or things like that as well. So look, in our lifestyle as a Western person, there's a lot of stimulation going on in our bodies, and that can sometimes be a problem for people when they go to get into sleep. They can't shut their mind down, and so they have problems falling asleep. So you're kind of thinking and thinking. In Chinese medicine, we call that pensiveness. So it's like this overthinking, worry. Now that actually affects your earth element, which relates to your digestion. So the earth is like the center of the powerhouse of your body in a way that kind of makes, well, you eat food and then you make the nutrients that your body needs from that. So you can really only make nutrients and the substances we need. So in Chinese medicine, we think of qi or energy, we think of blood, we think of yang. Those substances, you can only really make them from food and air. So you can either breathe oxygen, or you can get nutrients from foods. Now you need both of those things, obviously. You can't just have one or the other. But your sleep actually helps your body kind of recharge itself and repair. That you may have seen recently in the last few years, fasting diets have become very popular. Now some of the fasting diets are just promoting what we should be doing, just not eating so late at night. And there's research showing now that when you're fasting, your body's in a mode of repairing itself. So I'm not saying you have to go onto a fasting diet, but that just kind of explains why it's so important to have this aspect of our body where we just shut down. We don't really do anything, and that is your sleep time. So the more you can work on getting your sleep better, the more healthy your body will be. And likewise, you could be plugging away with taking lots of herbs or lots of supplements, or lots of other medicines. And if your sleep isn't so great, then that is something that will kind of like, it's just your body's always going to be working harder than it could be to get things better. And sometimes the reason why things kind of get to a certain point with whatever treatment, and then they just don't get any better, because your sleep is like, your body can't recharge itself at night. Think of it like a battery. Everyone puts their phone on charge at night. You cannot run that phone with no power. It needs power. And so how do we get that power? By sleeping. It helps our body recharge. So we're getting rid of through our digestive processes, we're doing that process of elimination, getting rid of toxins, things like that. So how can we get our sleep good? That's a really good question. And how much sleep do we really need is another question as well. Lots of my patients that I see, they probably would have good sleep, but they just don't allow the time for the sleep. They can't. Their lifestyle is such that they can't. So look, if you're really serious about your health, then try to push your lifestyle around your health. Obviously, you need to get money. You can't just quit your job and have no job. But you need to think about things in terms of the long term, like maybe doing something now that you just don't want to be doing for the rest of your life. That it's a good thing to think about yourself like that and think, okay, in 5 years' time, what kind of job would I want to have that allows me to be able to sleep the amount of sleep that I need, or also to have the time in your life to do the things you want to do. So with sleep, you should be getting about 8 hours of sleep. That would be a great amount of sleep. As we age, we tend to need less sleep, slightly less sleep, but and things that I see patients complain about or not realize is maybe things like they will always get up at night to go to the toilet. They think that that's normal because it's common. So just because you do something all the time doesn't mean that it's normal. Also, if you're dreaming a lot at night, it means your mind's not able to rest. It's kind of really active and it can't shut down, and so you're dreaming and thinking of all these things. The more vivid dreams, the more scary kind of dreams, then that means that your Shen, your mind, is less rested than someone who just has like an occasional dream here or there. It's normal to have things happen here or there, but we're talking about things where it's just like a regular occurrence, like every night you have dreams, or 5 nights out of the week you're having a lot of vivid dreams. Not like once a month you have a dream because you had an unusual stressful time or something like that. So the more you can create like a downtime towards the night is good. Looking at screens, most people know now that is not good for your body. As soon as you look at the screen, it stops your body producing melatonin, and that is the natural hormone that your body's basically just trying to, it's telling you to sleep. So you're blocking that, you're stopping your body having that signal to go to sleep. So as you start to feel drowsy and then you look at a screen, it kind of wakes you up again. So in your bedroom, you need to have no screens and no phones, no iPads or things like that. Try to get all those things out of your bedroom. Go and buy an analog clock so that you don't have like a little light in the corner of your room or like unusual lights and things like that. Go and buy some blackout curtains or some really thick material and put that around your window so that you don't have lights coming into your room unnecessarily. So the darker it is, the better it is to promote that quality of sleep. So when you fall asleep in Chinese medicine, what happens is your Shen, your mind, is that mental aspect that's kind of up here in the day in your head. You're thinking and doing things. That's active and that's on. And your Shen is awareness in your body. So like if you feel a touch on you or you feel pain, that's Shen. That's your awareness. Now, people that are falling asleep, what happens is the different stages of falling asleep, your awareness kind of shuts down. So you're not aware of things touching you. You're not aware of like, you should be able to be in your bed and not wake up every time, you sort of move around or something, or, something's touching you sort of thing. Now it's okay if like someone's robbing your house, for instance, and there's a very big loud noise and there's something like that and that's scaring you and that's waking you up, that your body will wake up to protect itself. But if those noises are happening all the time, like you're living in a noisy place, there's a lot of bipping, there's a lot of cars going past, maybe you have a duplex and you're like living next door to loud neighbours. So you could just use earplugs. Get used to using some earplugs and get these foam ones. Go down to like your Bunnings or like your local hardware shop. Put those earplugs in your ears before you go to bed. If you've got a partner that can sort of help you wake up in the morning, if you're wearing your earplugs, it's just, you have to work out what's going to work for you. So obviously if you're wearing earplugs and you're a really heavy sleeper, it may be hard to wake up first thing in the morning if you can't hear any alarm. And so then that brings me to the point of the alarm. Now, ultimately, it's better to just wake up by yourself, not have the alarm. Obviously, we need to wake up for our jobs and things like that as well. So it depends on how necessary you have the alarm. But try to have something where it gradually wakes you up. There are these alarms you can get now where they kind of start with a lower tone and ease you into it rather than waking up with and like that actually damages your heart yang. It makes you like that jumping and scaring isn't good for you, and so you're waking up with that. That's the first thing you wake up to. So you're already, that's not setting you out for the best kind of a day. Waking up to a really jump start kind of alarm. So hope that helps you understand a little bit about sleep. In the blog post below, it talks about how much sleep you need in different seasons. So that's something else you could try. looking at. In winter, you tend to need more sleep. In summer, you tend to need less sleep. So in the Neijing, it says which is the classical, fundamental book of Chinese medicine, where a lot of systems of Chinese medicine kind of based on those principles. And so it's about keeping people healthy as well. And so the question is how much sleep do people really need? So in winter, you should go to bed early and wake up late, which means you need the most amount of sleep. Whereas as seasons change, so if you pay attention to what's happening in the season, you'll notice that at the end of winter, it starts to feel warmer in the evening, it's not as cold in the evening. And so you just basically change that as the seasons go around, and the blog post below will talk about what you need to do in each season. So I hope that you enjoy this toolkit and you're learning more about yourself. The next podcast and the next episodes I'll send you some more